All right, check this out. How about the temptation of women when they come to the door trying to use their beauty and looks to get in for free or to just get in, not getting touched, not getting searched in their purses? We can't touch them, but
Yeah, I mean that comes with it. That comes from two aspects: being professional and being mature. I mean that's one of the easiest things that I can
right on.
overcome because at the end of the day, you're gonna put your job before anything.
Right on,
Like
right
I'm not
on.
about to risk. Oh, just because you're pretty, like let me let you get in,
Because
like without
I didn't
searching.
deal with that working with individuals. I can't just say a individual with individuals. Oh nah, bro, she good. She don't. No, she not good. You know what I'm saying? We check her ID, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because by the state law, bro, we gotta check the ID, especially if you serving alcohol inside of these clubs. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't
And
let an underage person go. I don't care if you look 50. You know what I mean? I got to see that ID.
I mean that's just law.
Yeah, straight
Because
up.
anything can happen.
Straight
You can
up.
get too intoxicated and leave the club, and
We don't know who
anything
you
can
is.
happen.
Exactly.
So then,
Exactly.
when it comes back to this was the last place you was at, she was underage. Who let her in? We done for.
Security.
The
Gotcha.
establishment is done. TABC is involved. The security license is revoked. It's a whole bunch of things
Yeah.
that can go wrong with doing that. So I never really experienced something to that extent before, allowing somebody to get in because they look good. Because I always let the guards know, like,
That don't fly.
business come first.
Straight up, straight up,
like
straight up.
leave your pleasure when you clock out. Me personally, I just don't care about it all around because it's too many women in the world for me to risk my job over a woman.
All right.
Like,
How about all right, say you working with different security guards, like your colleagues or whatever, and you're not comfortable in the situation as far as them having your back. How do you deal with that?
ooh, so I've only had one altercation where something like that transpired, but the way that you kind of, it's like a energy matcher. You could kind of know what somebody is capable of doing before you even get in a situation like that. I've been to multiple posts where I didn't know the people I was a throw in,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just from off introduction, you'll know like this guy's solid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Straight up, straight
and
up.
you're not gonna really find too many who are not built for this life because you have to be built for it. Like you have to be observant and you have to be quick to move. You got to be quick to aware every situation. So when you meet somebody and you're talking to them before any incident pop off, you kind of know where their head is. Now there are some people who are not built for it and they are in it for the money. Them are the situations where like let's not start no altercation or let's not try to
Make
press.
sure you in
Yeah,
control of the whole
just you
situation.
gotta
Yeah,
remain
yeah,
control because at the end of the day you by yourself.
yeah, yeah. At the
Even
end of
though
the
even
day,
though buddy's
yeah,
here
yeah,
with you as
yeah.
a presence,
He's just a body.
when it comes down to it, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So why risk something like that? You already kind of know. So just like we observe people that are coming into the club or are coming into these places every day, you observing who you working with too.
All right, look on that same topic, such as you work with somebody that's you kind of iffy about, but versus on working with somebody that stand on business, but always having an altercation. I'm talking
Right.
about always having an
Picking
altercation.
fights.
Exactly.
I personally don't like the people who pick fights because it kind of put me in a bind. Because I feel like I'm really great at de-escalating situations when I can, but if this person is like a pushover and like, nah, we not de-escalating nothing, like he got me messed
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
I got a point to prove type of person. I'm gonna let him own that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna let him own the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
I'm gonna let him handle the situation, but I'm gonna also have his back because I got to. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we're both here to go home.
Yeah.
Regardless of if he was in the wrong or if he was in the right, or if the person was in the wrong or the person was in the right, I'm gonna try to step in and de-escalate it. But I've had guards where I try to step in to de-escalate a situation with a guard and a person.
Yeah.
I stepped in and tried to separate them. The guard pushed me out the way. It's happened before. So in that given time, it's like I don't want him to turn his aggression to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So at the end of the day, I gotta rock behind him. Now, when the situation is done and it's over and whatever the outcome was, I could talk to him about that
Yeah, yeah,
later
yeah,
on.
after, yeah,
Like I'm not gonna check him in front
Yeah,
of
yeah. Taking the power away from
right.
the officer.
I'm not gonna diminish him at all
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, he's his own self man. He has his own self pride. I guess he has a point to prove, and I don't want to get involved with something like, something that could be so small turn so big. So there has been an altercation like that.
See, and then a lot of times I have worked with females I like working with female guards because for the simple fact, they can do things that you can't, you know what I mean? Because you have women that sneak in with bottles, guns in their cleavage, weapons and stuff like that. Some of the females that I done work with stand on business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for real stand on business. Then you got some females that act on emotion, you know what I mean? That just can't even think like, okay, I'm the professional person in this scene.
See, but that's the key word, professional.
Professionalism.
Not a lot of them understand the worth or the responsibility that they have when they're at the place that they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
A lot of them just come in and sit and just
On the phone.
whatever the case may be, let the
yeah.
time pass because it's just a check to them.
Yeah.
But some of them know the response. They went through the training. They have done. They have seen. They have been. They've experienced.
Yeah.
A lot of experienced guards know how to handle situations, presence, uniform, gear. Everything's set to a T. And you can tell who's new in the game. And you can tell who's experienced in the game just by their presence, how they talk, how they walk, how they come, introduce themselves. The way that they say different code words, you know who's been in the game, and you know who's new. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with a new person. I personally like teaching the new people because I was there too once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? I was taught. So it's easier to teach somebody the ropes than allowing them to figure it out on their own, and then they go out on a limb, and then they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So.
How do you determine, like, who you let inside the club? You know what I mean? Like, let's just say a person comes through with all their credentials, they got their ID, they got everything that they need, but they got this little, like they've been drinking, they're a little bit belligerent. Like, how do you determine that? You know what I mean?
So it comes with experience. Yeah. It really comes with experience. You have people who are drunk, and then you have the super intoxicated people who are slurring their words, stumbling, repeating themselves, like very loud, or you have the ones that are very aggressive, things like that. Those are the ones that I don't let in. When you have the ones that are like semi-tipsy, drunk, but they're able to like compose themselves, yeah, you can come back in, but just watch your limit. Yeah. And I'm gonna also be watching them throughout the club to see if they're stumbling or if they're falling around, and then I'll just go in there and personally remove them respectfully, like, hey, you had too much to drink, let's call it in the night. But for the ones who are already like that at the door, it's like, hey, brother or ma'am, you had too much to drink. I don't think it's a good idea for you to come in tonight.
But then when that causes an altercation with you at the door, you know what I mean? How do you deal with that?
I mean, you just got to be prepared for something like that.
A drunk person, bro,
they're not in their right mind.
Yes, exactly.
And it comes with experience. Once again, you have to know how to handle those situations. Before you even approach a person, you have to think, how can they react? There's only two ways to react. They're going to either abide or they're going to regress. Yeah. So if they abide, boom, easy, cool. You got your Uber, you need help calling it, you got a ride, you got somebody close by, cool, boom, handle it. Or you have the regressions like, I'm not going nowhere, I'm good, but you're really not, and then they get aggressive. You stand by the door, you block the door.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, sir, or ma'am, you're too intoxicated. I can't allow you to come back in. It's a safety hazard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't have control of your body. You can, whatever the case may be, you can physically harm yourself because you have
too much
no self control.
Yep.
So all I can do is recommend you to go home and stop you from coming in. And at that point, it takes a team. Like, here, I block this door, and if there's a side door, somebody stands at that door. They're gonna eventually walk away.
Yeah.
They're not gonna. I wouldn't say they're not gonna, but a lot of times they're not gonna attack you or try to force their way into the door because they're not gonna get in. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, you ain't really
you're well equipped to handle that situation if need be.
Yeah.
So they, even though they are intoxicated, they know, like, I'm not gonna win this battle. Let me just go home, or I'm not gonna win this battle. Let me go to the next spot and try. Like, it's so many clubs in Houston.
So how many drunk people you had to get out of the club? I know you didn't have to get people that were overly intoxicated inside the club outside.
I mean, I can't count, but I had to had a number.
Yeah.
Throw on over the shoulder.
Throw up on you.
Throw up on me. I had a lady throw up on me. I had to carry her like a baby. She was probably like 120 pounds. I had to carry her out to her car with her sister. I had a bigger dude that was just so sloppy drunk he was sleeping in the section. I had to throw him over my shoulder to get him out. I usually just try to just approach him like, hey, look, such and such said. For example, like you have the ones that are in drunk and they're in other people's sections, and they're just not aware of what's going on and they're doing too much. They're the ones that gotta go because it's gonna cause a problem with the other people. So you try to just keep control of what you can keep control of. So it's better off telling one person that's uncontrollable to leave rather than the 8 that's composed. They just upset about that one person. You know what I'm saying?
And then you ain't in the right place anyway.
You're not where you're supposed to be. Exactly. You don't know these people. But them the ones that regress. Like, man, what you mean? Like, I'm just having a good time. Hey, but you gotta go.
Yeah.
Like.
But do you give them a chance to get somewhere else before you make them leave outside of the club? Period.
So how it happens is the people who have the section. Say you're on this side, they're on this side of the club, and he's in front. And he stumbles and he comes over there in their section and he's trying to party with them or whatever, but they're not comfortable. I give them a warning. Hey, sir, go back to your section. Like, they're not comfortable, go back to your section. Simple. All right, it was all right, don't worry about it. But then if he's still like wandering off and just trying to, look, sir, I already told you once. I'm not gonna be too nice when I come back. So I give them 3 chances. Hey, look, man, this third strike, you gotta go. Simple. And at that point in time, I'm already knowing that he's most likely going to give me a hard time because he didn't even listen the first 2 times. So now I might have to get physical aggressive with him and walk him out the club, or he might refuse to get out the club. Now I got to walk behind him and bump him and just kind of like guide him out.
Make sure he's getting outside. Bro, that happened to me before. I'm a small security guard, you know what I mean? Bro, I'm inside of the club, right? It's big security guards on the outside of the club. To my big ones, you feel me?
At the door.
Bro, the dude come get me. The manager come get me. Hey, we got a drunk guy in the section. Like, what? All right, he drunk. I get over there. He slumped. Bro, the dude bigger than me. You feel me? Hey, the dudes outside, they don't want to help me bring him in. So I'm like, man, I bring him outside. So I'm like, come on, bro. Pick him up. He having trouble helping me pick him up. Bro, my back still hurt to this day behind this. You know what I'm saying? Had to get him in the car, fold his legs up, all this. His people was outside partying already, like buying food and everything. Left him in the club. He just in that slump. I'm like, damn, bro, you got to be careful on who you go to the club with also.
I mean, but that's something you can't really, that matter you can't really control. As for the manager coming to get you, I probably just feel like they're comfortable with you. They know you can handle it.
Bro.
Everything is not for everybody. Size don't matter.
I know.
Size don't matter.
I already know. I found that out that day.
Size does not matter at all.
All right, so I got a question. Taking it back to the start of your career, tell us how you got into security.
So I got into security when I moved out here from Los Angeles 3 years ago in 2021 of September. I was a paraprofessional, so I taught youth kids. We did mentorship. I taught behavior specialists. Dealt with the kids who had behavior problems. I feel like in that area that I was in, I kind of outgrew it in a way from dealing with kids that I kind of wanted to do with adults. So I kind of take it like security is almost the same area of expertise in a way because I'm still dealing with people. They're just older, and I'm still like, I'm just assisting them in what they need. Or
were you doing security over there, or did you move here and then start?
I moved here and I started.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved here and I started
what
security.
What kind of? I know you're saying you're doing clubs and stuff like that now. What were you doing at the start of your career?
At the start of my career, I started off at the club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started off in the clubs.
Right into action.
Right into action.
Yeah.
All hands on. First day, nervous, shaky, sweating, not really knowing like
what to expect.
What kind of training did you have like prior to start?
So I got my level 3 license. I took a course. We did baton training, ASP baton training, mace training. We did a few self-defense classes, handcuffing courses, and then we did the gun range, professional, proficiency shooting. Um, it's kind of hard to take the training and apply it because in the training there's not people.
Yeah.
In the field, there's
Yeah.
real individuals who are. It kind of feel like a simulation. Like these are real people. I got to take what I've learned and apply it.
Right here. Yeah, exactly.
And it just didn't feel like, it felt like a dream. Like I'm security, I'm armed, I have responsibility. Like I have the ability to take another's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So you gotta make your best move.
Yeah. Your next move.
Your best one. You got to.
How long you been doing security for?
I've been doing security out here for 3 years. In Los Angeles, I was doing bouncer work where it was just pat downs. It wasn't too much of what it is out here because the laws are different out there.
So, and like, how often are you doing any further training or consistently training, or do you just like suck in the experiences, kind of?
So I started off just retaining all of the information. I bought a security book. I bought the basic laws that you needed to know about everything. So I just soaked in all of that knowledge, and then it helped me to apply it as I got more comfortable with being at different places, securing different spots, meeting different people, and really learning them. Because for one, I'm new to the city. Houston people don't act like Los Angeles people. It's a whole different culture change for me. It's different. So it was just, I wouldn't necessarily say it was hard. It was just a change for me.
So do you actively do any like martial arts training, gun training, like anything like that?
So I do gun training. I go to the gun range every so often. I try to go 3 times a month just to make sure that, for one, my firearm works, and then for two, just to make sure that I do have the proper training to hit a target. Yeah, I clean it.
Bro, I saw someone. I've seen a few people, and their gun is just so dusty and sticky. It's just like, bro.
I had an experience with a guard who had to use her firearm, and it didn't click.
No.
Yes, the firing pin in it was fried.
Yeah.
See, that comes from when people don't go to gun training.
Bro, yeah, it goes. She says she had her gun for like 8 years.
With the same bullets in it.
With the same everything in it. God. I'm assuming from rain and everything you've been through, you never cleaned it. All that buildup in there, it didn't fire.
That's like businesses though. Like, they never call security till after they get robbed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's I can understand people don't use their guns like day to day, so they just think it's cool just sitting where it's at, just as a.
Yeah.
See, but that comes with their training though. They teach you that, check your firearm, because if you need to use it, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
Just because you have it, don't mean it work.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that everything is working. It's.
And then I see both of you guys are in pretty good shape. So how important is that into this industry?
I feel like it's very important because presence is everything. You have to also understand, if you're scrawny, you little guy, you're going to get tested a lot.
Yeah.
Or if you're a smaller guard, you're going to get tested by the bigger people. But I feel like it's really important to have a physical appearance to where they're like, I'm kind of like,
I'm not gonna mess.
I'm not gonna mess with this dude. Or some of them ask for our workout routines. Like, hey, how you get? What do you do? Do you box? Do you go to? How often do you go to the gym? What's your meal prep? Or, they make it like a friendly conversation because they probably are intimidated and they don't know how to approach us when they do approach us. So they try to make friendly conversation.
What is your actual routine?
My routine, right now I'm dieting. I have 3 meals. I'm on a calorie deficit and a high protein intake. I do low carb meals, mainly protein and healthy fats. So, for example, for breakfast, I'll just do turkey, bacon, and eggs with a shot of cayenne pepper and a lime. Okay. That'll be my breakfast. And I don't eat my breakfast till around 8, 9 p.m. So I'll fast. I have my dinner at 9. I don't have my breakfast until 9.
Do you work night shift?
No, I do morning shift. I do that for morning shift.
You fast all the way till 8 p.m.?
Well, no. I don't fast till 8 p.m. I have my last meal around 8, 9 p.m. at night, and then I don't have my breakfast.
Okay,
yeah, so through me resting and
are you intermittent fasting?
yeah, intermittent fasting.
What time
exactly.
do you start eating?
I start eating like around 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, depending on how hungry I am. I try to go like 8, 9, 10 though. Yeah, and then it's always something small. Like I've been sticking with the same breakfast for months. 3 strips of turkey bacon, 3 or 4 eggs, cayenne pepper, lime, a whole bunch of water, and then I have my lunch, which is probably it's no carbs, is healthy fats like avocado or a salad or quinoa or garbanzo beans, and then like turkey, fish, chicken, beef, something small that'll hold me over, and then I'll have my dinner around 5 p.m.
Yep. Then it's like you gotta stay in shape also because, you working, bro, people, like you say, people will test you. Then when the test is there in front of you, what you gonna do?
Exactly.
How can you?
People respect it because you're displaying discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you see a guy that's 4X, 5X shirts and just slouch there with his gallon of
you gonna get laughed at.
Yeah, a gallon of iced tea is like, yo, this Paul blah motherfucker, this and that. They ain't taking you seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So displaying discipline is definitely key, especially in this club scene.
It also shows how important this is to you.
Yeah.
Like my physical appearance is important to me.
Exactly.
Simple. The way I dress is important to me.
So, in terms of doing security now, what is the goals you're trying to achieve? Like, what's the future? Like, what's that looking like for you?
So I actually have a HPD interview on Wednesday.
My boy.
I want to go into law enforcement. That has always been something that I wanted to do since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But growing up in LA and the people that are around, my family members and stuff, they kind of put it on my heart that, like, you can't do that. You just can't do it. That's not something that I would approve of you doing.
Yeah.
We don't like police. We don't deal with the police. You can't be that.
Like that right there.
You can't be it.
Yeah.
So growing up, I'm like, boy, I want to be. I played cops and robbers growing up. I was the cop. I was the cop. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, because I like guns. So I was like, I'm gonna be the good cop. You be the bad guy. You finna die. Like as a kid growing up. So I always wanted to be a cop. And now that I got into security, I'm like, I found a love for it because it's like baby steps into what I want to really do.
Exactly.
So eventually you do want to become a police officer.
Yeah, I have an interview on Wednesday.
Nice.
Yep. I applied. I have an interview on Wednesday. We pray that everything goes well.
My God.
See, I'm the same. Like when I was a kid, my older brother reminded me of this a few years ago. He was like, "It's crazy. I'm from the UK, right?" And I always says, "I want to go to New York and I want to be a police officer." When I was a kid, like 5, 6 years old, and he reminded me. He was like, "Bro, you're out there in America. You've got this big security company, and you're doing all this and that. Like, this is what you said you wanted to do when you was a kid." And I don't know if I told you, but the whole Uniform Boulevard thing, scale it up. I do want to plan for an exit, and eventually, once I do exit, I do want to become a police officer. It's a rewarding job. It's fulfilling. There's no mundane tasks like you're not in a warehouse packing boxes doing the same thing.
Tedious.
It's all different every single day. And also it's a career you can grow.
Right.
So you can become a sergeant, then a lieutenant, detective, chief, captain. Like there's all those different avenues, and then you can go into the SWAT, the K9.
Yeah.
So there's like, it's a very, I think, rewarding career. So.
It is.
And then especially if you got the passion for it, you know what I mean?
And that's what you gotta have. You gotta have the passion. You can learn the ropes.
Really have to.
If you're smart enough and you're brilliant enough and you have the right mindset, you can learn the ropes. Easy. You have to have the drive for it.
Recently, I've been seeing a lot of police departments using Facebook and social media to obviously advertise their recruitments, right? The comments are wild. They're like, I saw a bunch last night, and it was like, there was something to do with customs, like a border patrol agent.
Okay.
Right? This was one of the job posts, and the comments were just like, "Oh yeah, take $60,000 a year to greet Mexicans walking into the country," or shit like that. And then the police, there was a department job, and it was like the comments were, "Oh, this is just the biggest gang in the country, this and that." that's the toughest thing with police. Like, people hate the police
They do.
because of the small few that make
Yeah,
it messy
yeah.
for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
But that's people are like that as well. Like
You got
they're not gonna like you because of the certain few.
Yep.
Like everyone's grouped
Yep.
the same.
Yeah.
Race, everyone's grouped. They look at us. Oh, he's a gang member.
Yeah,
Out of uniform, tattoos. Oh, yeah, your affiliation.
Yep.
You're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Simple.
You always gonna have a group of good individuals that's gonna outshine the bad individuals. Not
Right.
just outshine, but they're always gonna be in the same percentage. You got like your negative and positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna always have. It
But
don't
I
matter
think
where
that's
you at.
Mm-hmm.
one of the goals with this podcast is also humanizing the badge. You know, the
Yeah.
people behind the uniforms, and show that they are genuine, real people.
And we're people. That's all we are, people. I'm trying to make a living just like you trying to make a
exactly,
living.
Exactly. Let me go home.
That's it. I'm trying to provide for my
Yep,
family.
yep.
This is the career that I chose to do. I love to do it. Allow me to do it.
But see, it be a lot of people that want to be in that type of profession.
And they can't.
And they can't.
Yeah.
Or they don't know how. Or they got the peer pressure from their neighborhood. Like you say, your friends, your family. Oh, man, you can't do this. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm. You can't
know
be
what I mean?
law. You can't do
on,
You're a
that.
damn snitch.
Yeah.
Really, Uncle Tom. They call you Uncle Tom. You a snitch. You everything
All the
under
time.
the book.
But the thing is when those gunshots be ringing off, you dial in 911.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. You gotta know what to allow to affect you,
Yeah.
Exactly.
because whatever you do, there's gonna be someone saying something. Oh, I could be a firefighter. Oh, you just doing that to you know what I'm saying? You can do
putting out no fire.
whatever you choose to do in life. There's going to be a group of people
Yep.
who go against what you're doing because they're not doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the ambassadors for Uniform Boulevard, he's from Austin. He's a security guard. He's a level 3. His name is Shelby, and he's got about 50-something thousand followers on TikTok. Every time he does a video, like a get ready with me video, well, it's like 90% hate in the comments.
Yeah.
Wanna be this, wanna be that, you know, like playing this, playing that. People don't understand, like, what they see in the movies of a security guard, just like Craig and Dede.
Craig and Dede, I was
You
gonna say
know,
like Craig and
swear
Dede,
that is-
because that's what
that is
that's what
the
they group
main
us.
one.
They group us.
That is the
Craig and
main
Dede,
one.
top flight.
Yeah, they don't know that, like, for example, Fort Bend ISD,
Mm-hmm.
they're contracting security guards. You know, they take us seriously.
Yeah.
You know, why shouldn't people? Because they don't know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think there is a lot of people who paint the whole thing with the same brush, and hopefully we can work on painting a better picture for the
Yeah.
future. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
it's gonna take a village to do that though. It's gonna take a lot of more outspoken individuals to explain or express why they do it, how they do it, where they do it, and who they do it with. You know, because like you said, they paint it with the same brush. We are all thrown in this bucket of wannabes on top flight. But when we have more open-ended conversations like this, they can get to, you know, in-depth detail on how this person, you know, reacts or how this person likes to deal with these high-tense situations or low-tense situations. And maybe they can get a better understanding of what we actually do aside from what they think we do.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not
like
doing
you say,
it with us.
the diversity of people too.
Yeah.
If I see somebody that like, hey, damn, you a security, how can I get down with that? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? This is somebody I done looked up to. I done seen them, you know, whatever. You just don't look like a common security guard,
Right.
but you are a security guard, professional
I
security
get
guard.
confused with an officer all the time.
All the time.
All the time. When I have my vest on and I have commissioned officer on it with the Texas Star on it and my nameplate on the back, they think I'm HPD.
HPD,
I've
yeah.
got paid multiple times from clubs for being an officer. I got officer pay, not security pay, because it's two different pays.
Yeah, yeah.
I got officer pay multiple times, and I'm like, ma'am, I'm not officer. Like, I'm part of the security team that's outside. that comes
But your
every week.
presence, it's
But
your
yeah,
presence and professionalism.
Yeah,
Like
so
you say, once
I get confused
You
all the
gotta
time.
have your uniform and everything. Your presence got to be intact at all
Yep.
times. You know what I mean? Especially like that. You see how you get paid
Yeah.
extra for that? For real, for real.
yeah.
And
But
people-
I'm an honest man though, so
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people, they don't understand that. Like I says, they always say, you know, if they see you as a security guard, I want to be cop. They don't know that you get paid. You can get paid really well.
you really can.
You know,
You really can.
And your license allows you to do almost everything except for take someone to jail and give them a ticket.
Yep.
You know, and it's just it's a professional industry just as it is. The only difference is it's the private sector as opposed to the public sector.
Yes, exactly. You come where I'm securing, you're getting everything an officer can do besides writing that ticket and taking that drive downtown. I can detain you. I can, however that they want to deal with the situation, police officers, we have all right to do the same.
Yeah.
Simple. And a lot of them like, oh, you can't detain me, or you can't do this, or you can't. Watch me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call the big dogs.
And
like, look,
lucky, I'm the one that's giving you this little chance right here before they get here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because once they get here, it's over. They gonna ask you what you want to do.
Stuff them.
They're gonna ask you that. What you want to do?
9 times out of 10, you'll let a person go because you know whatever they're dealing with, whatever the circumstance is.
Yeah, it really depends on the circumstance, though.
Yeah.
Like if it's something to do with a physical assault towards me or another guard or another individual, you're gonna take that trip downtown, buddy. Like it's over with.
This is what I've been want to know. How do you deal with, you know how you can see a person coming with talking about, like, how can you determine who comes in the club? Like, minus the intoxication, but it's suspicious, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you see a person coming and you ask them, hey, man, you got something on you, got a gun on you, you know, you can't bring that in the club. They lie to you. You search them, pat them down, find a gun. How you deal with that?
So we had an altercation like that before at one of the clubs I was going to go with a few of the guards that I knew. We pat him down. He had a 9mm in his puffy jacket. The guard told him, hey, you can't bring that in here. You got to go put that up. So what we do is, it was 3 of us. One stays at the door. One escorts the individual to his car. And, 2 walks him to his car and tell him, hey, keep your hands to your side. And it's really a tricky situation because at any given time, he can turn aggressive. Yeah. But that's just part of the job. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He cannot come in with that, and we can't just allow him to walk away and not have eyes on him or not know what kind of vehicle he's in. So if he pulls up to the front of the club because he's mad he can't get in, we're unprepared.
So y'all don't take the bullets from him out of the...
I haven't before. Yeah. Because you got to also think, that's going to just make him more upset. Angry, yeah. Why add fuel to the fire when it's already a fire? If it's going to burn, it's going to burn.
It's going to burn.
It's just going to burn faster because you take the bullets out, he still got his firearm. He got bullets in the car. Yeah. He's going to come back for he's going to want to come back for his bullets with a loaded gun. As for a lot of people would just be like, all right, I respect it. I'm going to go put, cool. Even though he went to go to the car and put his gun up, I still wouldn't let him in the club because you already tried me.
When I already asked you, I gave you a time.
Even if I didn't ask you, you know you're coming into a building that is 51%. It's posted. Yeah. No firearms. Yeah. No weapons. Why would you try to do it?
That'd be my question, bro. Why?
I mean, if
you know everybody that got searched at this door, you know we're searching everybody that come through this door. What makes you think that you can just try to bring a firearm in here?
He that guy. He get in his head. He that guy.
What do you have going on that you need a firearm inside the club?
Might as well go home. I mean, in my opinion, call it
Don't even come to the club.
Don't.
Because you come to a club to have a good time, drink your little alcohol, see your friends and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Why do you want to come with that on your mind? You feel me? That'd be my biggest question to myself and to others.
You just never know what
type of lifestyle.
You never know what he's living. That's between him and him.
What's the place that they usually hide at? Like the most clever place that you've seen?
I didn't got an upper thigh. I didn't got upper thigh before, and a lot of the times I'm real big on pat downs and thorough with pat downs because the upper thigh is where they have it. Yeah. Like not even leg holster, just stuffed far enough to where it's just stick right there. Yeah. So if you're coming from shoulders to the body down across the waist and straight down on the outside of the legs, you're not gonna feel it. Yeah. You come up to the crouch
right there
and you touch his private part area, he might have something right there. Yeah. And a lot of the times they try to like wiggle a little bit, so they're like, watch out. Yeah. And it's like, hold on, stand still because I'm finna touch you now. Yeah. Like I'm not even trying to like sexually harass you, but you suspicious now. You moving. Yeah. You're moving too much. Just let me see what boom boom. I'm gonna do a quick swipe, and if I don't hit nothing, you good. Like I got what you got.
Yeah,
like let's be real. let's be grown adults and
Stand
men
here
and just
me
let me do
conduct
my
this
job.
search.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If you don't, and if you're not comfortable with it, go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
exactly. I done had people come. How about this? Under bigger guys.
Yeah.
Under their stomach area, bro. Lift it up. It's a whole volume right there. Real talk.
You know that what's that DJ? His name, Big Boy. Is he a DJ? New York
Yeah,
DJ?
he was the radio host DJ. I mean, a big boy.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Yeah.
He was telling a story one day. He did that, and he got picked up on a warrant by police, and he had 2 guns under his roll, and he managed to go. He got into the jail with them, and he got bonded
Bro.
out with them. I was like, that's
Bro,
crazy.
see, that's crazy
But
and like smart
never-
at the same time. You're a big guy, but see, that's where the training comes in at on pat downs and searches. I'm going under all of that.
But I am too. But I'm gonna let them know. I'm not just gonna straight
No,
violate
no,
you.
no,
I'm like,
no.
hey, but I'm finna check right here.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to get right here. It might be a little uncomfortable, but I gotta get
I
right
gotta
here.
get it, yeah, straight up.
And
Have you
if-
ever been in a situation where there was no female guards, like posted the night?
a lot of nights are like that usually because there's not a lot of female guards,
Okay.
and it's really tricky because you can't deny them from coming in because we don't have a female guard. You just gotta like wing it. Unfortunately, you just gotta wing it. Like if they don't have a bag, or if they have loose fitted clothing, we physically can't touch them if their ID says female on it. So you just gotta. It's a tricky situation. It's unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, and I'm assuming there's a team of you that works the club, right?
Yeah, there's a team of us.
So like in that kind of situation, not to take away from what they're doing, but would they be paying more attention to those individuals?
The female guards?
Yeah.
100%. They're there for that specifically. They don't touch the males at all.
I mean the male guards that's working inside. Say there's no female on duty.
Okay.
Right. Female gets past without getting searched.
Okay.
Are the guys keeping eyes on them throughout the night, like
I mean,
a little bit closer?
I would assume so. The communication will have to be made
Yeah.
with them. Like, hey, I let that section in. They're females, loose fitted clothing. Just watch them.
Keep an eye on that.
The communication has to be there. So that's really what it is. It's just keeping a keen eye on them. But sometimes it can be hard because the capacity is too big as well.
What kind of capacities are you controlling?
Over capacity. Most of the time they're over capacity. Where like you can't move around in the club. You have to either take the stage so you can see everything, or you have to get the back of the wall where you can see everyone. And it's just literally people are body to body and they're squeezing by. And you don't want to be in between all of that because you can get slipped.
Yeah.
You can get slipped from your pocket.
Yeah.
You can get slipped from your mace. You can get slipped any kind of way because you're focused on the people while the people are focused on you.
Yep.
And if you're body to body and you're skin to skin with somebody,
Then, like
it's
you
not
say,
hard.
it's so many people inside of the club, and it's only like roughly, let's say, 4 or 5 guards. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of people. That's why you got to be attentive and have good communication skills with your partners.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I really believe in that because it's a lot of situations to where you outside, you got your colleagues on the inside of the club, and there's no communication, there's no checking in on nobody. Hey, you all right in here? Hey, y'all all right out there? You know what I mean? Like no walkthrough. Like it's a lot that goes on in that.
That's
type
why I
of
try to
situation.
typically run a rotation system
Exactly.
when the club is really packed. 2 or whoever's inside, however many number of people who are inside, you take a corner of a club or a spot in the club, and everyone rotates every so often.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably watching a certain section, but you're probably watching a different one. So if you get a different angle, you're still watching that same section, and I'm
straight
still
up,
watching
straight
the.
up,
We all have our own section or people that we're watching that seem suspicious to us. And I'm like, all right, look, let me control this. I can control this from over here. You can control that from over there. And let's get a different angle. And we just there just to observe
And then it's about like
manage.
trusting your people that you're working
That's
with.
what
Exactly.
that's what I was about to touch base on. This is one thing that I know that is much more worked on in the police, because when you're in the police department, not that I'm talking from experience, but just from knowledge,
Yeah.
that, you know, the officers be having lunch together. They spend so many hours together, like for a long time, and they become friends and outside of work activities and stuff like that. And even the police department have much more resources than a private security company, or at least most of them. That they having the absolute trust in your partners to know that if shit's going down, you're gonna take care of this to your best ability, and understanding or hoping for or trusting in the fact that they're doing exactly the same thing on their side, so that your 6 is covered. So, do you have full faith in your team when shit goes down? Like, honestly.
The team that I'm working with in the clubs, I will say it's probably 80%.
Okay.
But there are times where I can, like, I wouldn't necessarily say choose who I can work with, but it's kind of like a set schedule. So I know I'm going to see the same person every time. And if I do feel uneasy about them, I just have a simple conversation. Like last week when this happened, I felt he could have been a little bit more closer, you know what I'm saying? Or he could have been a little bit more attentive. It could have been, you know, resolved in a different matter if you were here instead of here. Or I feel like you could prioritize this, or even it's just accepting constructive criticism, because you're learning things every day. You're learning, you're meeting different people every day. You're going through different problems every day. Everything is different every day. So I wouldn't necessarily say I expect this of this person, but if need be, I do expect you to have my 6 like I would have yours.
Yeah, sure.
And then, again, it's the private. Each company has their own policies and structures. But the management, do they mandate certain things, like in terms of trainings from guards? Because, like I says, earlier we were talking about, like, you know, you keeping your gun familiar, you know, like using it over and over again. Whereas someone else, if the company's not mandating it, or at least having, do you have a manager in the team, or is it?
Yeah, we have a manager in the team.
Okay. Like that works the actual post with you guys? Or is he like, he manages other stuff too?
He's like the owner of the security company, but at times he does work alongside with us. He will work alongside with us.
So he's on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. Like the team, it needs the leader, you know, and then it needs its soldiers to function correctly.
Right.
Whereas if everyone's the boss, like everyone's trying to run it their way, you know what I'm saying? So, thinking like what I'm saying is especially in teams, because a lot of times securities don't be working in teams.
No.
Clubs, like the Monday to Friday gig.
Yeah.
Do you work in a team, or do you have a single guy?
It's a partner thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we have one person in the parking lot. We have one person inside of the center, and we flip every hour. We switch every hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this all boils down to training at the end of the day and policies
It
within
does.
the private sector, and I think that you know, you can never train too much.
You can.
You know.
And you have to also take your time and apply it to do those things, because this is a lifestyle that you chose. You can expect someone else to control when your trainings are, because a lot of the times private security companies, they don't do it.
Yeah, they'll just have like a simple orientation.
They just have, this is my expectations, this is the contracts that I have, be on time, be in uniform, carry out your duties. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about a police department, is the fact that they have the resources to do all that stuff in-house. I was watching a little documentary about some police officers who are really trying to bring jiu-jitsu into the standard training of the police. And they're based in Austin, or at least one of the branches is based in Austin. And I feel like it's really cool, you know, like not forced, but mandatory like, training.
Yeah, self-defense training. I mean, it's part of the.
That's good. That's the discipline that you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially if you can like display that discipline on your own without that, that's even better. You know what I mean? Because it becomes repetitious towards you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is another thing. What is the comparison, like he was saying earlier? What is the comparison within club security and what you do in the daytime?
It's a huge comparison. I mean, it's a totally different. Like, it's two totally different fields, in my opinion. And at times I do get frustrated because I'm in a rural area where these people who are in need of finances come and they give their plasma in exchange for currency. But if they get denied, then they get upset
Yeah.
because they had in mind that they were going to get this money.
Now it's like F everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're being verbally aggressive. You're being physically aggressive. You're being just straight uncontrollable. And when you're working in those type of facilities, you're not just about to just tackle them and detain them. Because it's a professional setting.
Yeah.
Like there's nurses there, there's phlebotomist people there, there's other donors there. It's hard to just. You don't want to just throw yourself in there and like I'm about to just big dog control the situation with this one person, and there's a million eyes watching. So.
But have you ever had to like, not just not just get physical, but flex your muscle a little bit?
No, because with the company that we have, we're not allowed to.
Okay.
We're not allowed to. Okay. Yeah, we have to stay 6 feet. Observing, just straight observing report. Even though it's an armed post, which to me
crazy.
it doesn't.
No, a lot of the
make any
companies
sense.
are moving in that direction. Like most of is either CVS or Walgreens. People know that they have the policy of the guard cannot touch anyone.
Exactly.
So they know to walk in there, pick up what they want, and walk straight back out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's all boils down to liability, and that's what it's become. Where America is a place where you look at someone wrong, they want to sue you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And again, in private sector, people are just concerned with liability, like defamation, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a weird place. It is a weird place that we're in terms of these things, especially in the more blue states.
Yeah.
Not to get political or anything.
Yeah.
But did you notice more of that in? Oh no, you didn't do security out in LA, did you?
No, but I hung with a group of individuals who were like the people I'm dealing with now.
Yeah.
So they were like, "You just security, like, what you want to do?"
Yeah.
Like I know those type of guys.
Yeah,
they don't take security serious. So when I get the same reaction from people now, I'm like, I'm used to it. I watch them basically disrespect security because they're like, at the end of the day, you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You just another person just here, just standing around.
Yeah, and I think that, and I've said this to you before about security. Like when a police responds to a call, he's responding, so it's reactive. Something happens, you call 911. Security, you're at the site already.
Mm-hmm.
You stop it before it happens. Like somebody walks in thinking I'm gonna steal some stuff, and they see you and think, actually no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
You're the first line of defense. Yeah.
Yeah, so the security aspect of things is a very proactive approach, as opposed to the police department being reactive and they respond to calls. And I think that's another thing that people don't take into account often at all.
I have a lot of people who was like, I'm about to act up in here. Oh no, never mind. He got a gun. Like, just straight like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm gonna compose myself because this man's here just watching me.
That's the thing, like the physical deterrent.
Yep.
That's the biggest key,
Exactly.
Sometimes it works, but sometimes you got the ones that's like, I don't care.
Yeah. I'm gonna try it anyway.
Pull it out.
Yeah,
Let me see what you finna do with that. And it's like, then the ones you gotta smooth talk them.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta de-escalate the situation. You gotta ask them what's going on, what's going wrong. How can I help you? What can I do to fix whatever the issue you got going on? Because in those times, you already know you can't physically get aggressive with this individual unless they get physical aggressive with you. We are allowed to use force. We just can't jump straight to the use of force. Like if someone's in my face and they swing at me, I have all right to defend myself and whoever. But when it comes to like I said, get out, like I'm about to push you out the door, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
What you do is you ask them to politely leave. They refuse. You ask them again. You sit and wait. You don't want to leave. I always explain to them, I asked you to leave. You refuse to. You are now trespassing because I asked you to leave. We have a no trespassing sign on the door. We can do one way or the other. You can leave on your own recognizance, or HPD is going to get involved and you'll get a trespassing ticket and or go to jail.
Yeah. And
9 times out of 10, you a bitch, whatever the case may be. I'm going to go about my business. But at the end of the day, they left.
Yeah.
I see you have multiple types of weapons and tools on you, lethal, non-lethal.
Mm-hmm.
So explain to us what you've got on first. Break down your gear first.
All right. So on my left side, I have my double magazine holder. I have an X2 taser. This is strictly for club use only. For individuals who are, in physical altercations, that if I can stop one or my teammate can stop one, but one is super overly aggressive, he's finna get tased.
Yeah.
I have mace for crowd control only outside of the club. So if we have an indoor club scene, we try to always push it out. If we try to get it out as fast as we can. If we can't control it outside, it's OC spray.
Yeah.
I have a baton. I don't necessarily feel like I would resort to the baton because I know how to use my hands, but it's always good to have as like a tool to use to separate individuals if your hands are full. Like if I have my taser in this hand, I'm pulling my baton out and tell him to back up. Like, hey buddy, back up.
Straight up.
And try to get him. So he'll know like he mean business.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna either test him or leave him alone.
Yeah.
So I have my baton right here, and then I have my duty weapon. It's a TP9 SF, and I wear my my hard plate tactical vest. In my vehicle, I have a pair of handcuffs. I have 2 pair of handcuffs for the bigger boys, and it's just about presence. Like a lot of the times when they see me, they're like, in their minds they're probably like, no, they're probably like,
we don't know.
He too equipped. I don't want to test it because I see guards that are not equipped. They're like, oh, we're gonna test that. We're gonna see what he's about.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like you have a very efficient setup, and it seems to have been well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
You see some people, they've just got weird lights everywhere. They've got knives everywhere.
Yeah.
They've just got a whole bunch of useless stuff. But actually, your setup is very clean.
Yeah.
And it seems very efficient. You've got your non-lethal
On one
your
side.
non-dominant side away from your lethal.
Yep.
And you know exactly where your lethal is. So, and the mag pouch is very reachable.
Yep.
You keep your handcuffs in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, so it seems like a very efficient setup. Actually, I saw a SWAT guy with a very similar setup.
I actually copied it from a SWAT guy as well. So when I bought my duty belt and all of my individual gadgets, I went straight to YouTube and looked up.
YouTube.
I looked it up.
Shots Fired podcast.
Duty belt. Shots
it
Fired podcast. No, it wasn't a Shots Fired podcast. It was more of a firearms instructor. I was watching a firearms instructor assemble his duty belt. And he has his baton in the front, but to me, when I'm patting down, I can't have mine in the front. It has to be in the back because it's just gonna stab me. So I just adjusted that to the back, and it works fine with me. It doesn't get in the way with anything. I can do a backflip if I need to. Like nothing's in the way.
Yeah.
Everything is spaced out enough.
So you've been in security for 3 years, you said, right?
Yes.
So was that the first setup you've bought? Or?
This is my first setup.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you
So-
did good.
Yeah. Not only did you buy good, you bought the good brands too. So you know that the not so good brands, you'd be replacing it constantly.
Yeah.
And was it Bianchi leather, right?
Bianchi leather, basket weave leather. Yeah. I did a lot of research before I bought it because I'm real picky on what I get and how I spend it and and the longevity of it. And I've been rocking with this for 3 straight years now. I wear it every day, 6 days a week,
And
maybe
it
7 days a
looks
week.
clean as well, man.
And
That
I've
boy
been
lasts.
wearing it.
Yeah, that boy
It's
lasts.
been wearing.
Yeah.
I done a whole lot in here. It's been wet. It's been soaked. It's been dropped. It's been a whole lot of things like that.
What kind of vest do you wear?
I wear a condor vest with hard plates in the front and back and soft plates on the side.
Okay.
Yeah, a condor vest. I feel like it's a little versatile for me because I tried other Safe Lights vests and they are too tight, and then I have other Safe Light vests that are too big. So what I mean by too big is it doesn't cover up the
sternum.
it doesn't cover anything.
Okay.
My condor vest, when I tighten it in the back, it gets just right at the top, and nothing's hanging below besides my belt.
Yeah.
So
you want it to be like at the belly
it's a
button.
perfect fit for me.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So Safe Life. So we actually make custom fitted vests.
Okay.
Yeah. So for that exact reason, like the standard sizing, when you sit down, it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not covered incorrectly. So I feel that's very important. not a lot of people want to make that kind of investment into their gear,
Right.
which they'll pay for in the long run, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, they definitely will pay for it in the long
Facts.
run.
yeah. So where we at? So anything else? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to tell the people?
I was just keen in on the growth opportunity. My level 4 license just expired, but I love doing level 4 work. I've done unthinkable things. I've met unthinkable people.
What's the difference though, like with the level situation?
So level 3 is
Commission.
commissioned.
Yeah.
Level 4 is personal protection. So you're able to personally guard a person's body,
And
like-
and you don't have to wear uniform.
and you don't have to wear your uniform.
Who are name some of the people that you got a chance to work with?
I went to the Legends of South tour with Young Jeezy, Paul Wall, Little Boosie. I actually was their armed chauffeur driver and personal driver. I picked them up from Houston, drove them to Austin, back from Austin back to Houston. A good buddy of mine put me on a private protection with Drika Gates for her, birthday dinner, and I have a few other family friends that have, people who are not as famous but still have connections with people who they kind of want to portray themselves as, that guy. Yeah. So
That's what
I've done a few. Yeah, that's where the money is.
Oh,
That's
for
how
sure.
you. That's how you go from here to here.
Yeah.
Personal protection you can make.
And then when you're doing a good job, your name is steady
Yep.
getting put out there.
Definitely
as a
is.
prominent security guard.
100%.
Yeah.
So what? Before we wrap it up, what is the wildest incident you've been a part of?
The wildest incident, it has nothing to do with aggression. This young lady got upset at us because we told her to leave. She straight stripped, like from top off, bottom down. No female guard was there at the time. I had my security jacket on. I had to cover this lady up
Yeah.
and figure out who she was with and get her away from flashing us. And I was like, it just blew my mind because I was like, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand. I didn't know if it was like a flirtatious move or her way of her shooting her shot, or she's
Trying to
used
bash
to
her,
doing
harassment
it,
type, yeah,
or
anything.
see how I would react,
Yeah.
or I don't know what it was, but I was like, we ain't finna do this. I'm not finna allow you to embarrass yourself
Yeah,
because
straight up.
you're intoxicated. Like, you gonna hate that you did that, but in this given moment, we finna cover you up and get you right and get you to your house or to your people that will take care of you.
Well, that gives us a conclusion for today. I thank you for coming.
Anytime.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thank you.